how's it going? This video is a little late today, but things happen. First of all, hello, how's it going? If you're new, hello, my name is Eric. This is a channel. We do mostly vlog related things, or Amy's been doing a lot of what I eat in a days. We're trying to lose weight. We're on another weight loss journey. We had done this previously in 2019. We spent pretty much the entire year, was like from March on, losing weight, and then Amy got pregnant, and so then we had a baby, and so now we're, after gaining back weight from the baby weight and the pandemic stuff, we are now back to losing weight. And so it's gonna be different this time for sure. Just from so far, it's been way different just with everything. I'm gonna talk about a little bit about my struggles, but before I get to that, if you're new, we'd love to have you subscribe and kind of join us on this journey. It's not going to be a quick weight loss situation. It's definitely going to take a lot of time, but we're trying to lose weight just for our little boy is super active, and he's really going to need us to run after him a lot. And so we want to be able to get into shape and lose weight and just be more healthy and all that sort of stuff. So we'd love to have you join us. So hit the subscribe button, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Now I'm going to get into what I'm going to talk about. Sorry for the high scratch. It's been pretty interesting the last month, about a month and a half into this, and I was going to do this whole skit about like temptation at nighttime, because I stay up pretty late. It's actually like 1 in the morning right now. I stay up pretty late because I let Amy sleep for about 6 straight hours, so that, because the thing is she is constantly looking at the monitor. So I have Sam's monitor. We have a little sleepy monitor. Sorry, it's super bright. I don't know if you'll be able to, yeah, it's not gonna focus. We have a little camera on him, and there's audio, and you can push the button on this. It turns off the screen, and it just has the audio. And so when she's laying in bed, if we have the monitor in there together, I swear she's up every 30 minutes looking at the monitor. She'll click and watch it for a second and then put it back down, and it almost wakes me up every single time, because I'm like, is he awake? She's like, no. But and I tell her, if I go to bed like around the same time as you, I know that you're not gonna get good sleep. And so we're kind of still doing the shift thing for the most part. I stay up late and work, and then binge YouTube videos sometimes. And the other thing is I'm basically on Sam duty. So if he wakes up, I feed him, which I do. He wakes up around midnight, like somewhere between midnight and 1, he'll wake up. And so I'll go in and feed him a bottle, put him back down, and then if he wakes up and needs a little comforting, which has been very rare since we're doing the sleep training thing, he basically no longer cries. When we put him down for bed, he just rolls himself to sleep, which is pretty amazing. And at nighttime, he just falls asleep on me when I'm feeding. Like right after I feed him, I burp him, and he burps, and then he's out. And so I put him down, and he doesn't wake up for 3 or 4 hours, and then he'll want another feeding. And so basically, I'm on late night, and then Amy's super early morning. And so we're doing that because it's kind of working for us for the most part right now, which it's really hard to not go to bed and be on the same schedule all the time, even though Amy's always been an early morning riser versus I just don't wake up. I'm not a morning person. When I was running, I was a morning person because it was something to do to get me up, but if I have the choice, I would rather sleep. But anyways, things have been crazy around here, and we're really trying to like get Sam on his sleep under control. The naps are questionable, but his sleep super under control right now, is nighttime sleep. And so this is just what we do to sort of survive right now. And so I know this is very temporary. As he gets older, his night feeding will go away, and eventually we can both go to bed around the same time and sleep all night long. And so but yeah, she's just like, she hears him crying, she's like, oh, I always hear him crying, which means that it's in her head. And so it's just easier for me to be out here and hang out and work and do whatever I need to do, you know, edit YouTube videos or whatever it is. And hang out and watch Sam on the monitor. If he wakes up, I can start the timer before I have to go in there, and if not, I feed him, and then, like I said, just hang out. So late nights are very hard for me because I'm alone in the house. But everybody's asleep. I'm just hanging out, and it's like the little voices like, hey man, nobody else is in the house right now awake. You go ahead and have some toast, or eat that bowl of cereal that you've been craving. And so it's super hard for me to, it used to not be hard. It is very hard now, because before, when we were doing this diet, I knew that, I'm gonna switch legs. I knew that for me to, I'm gonna turn this off because I think it's hitting my glasses. I think that looks a little bit better. So basically, like, I know that night times are hard for me, and so before I would just basically go to bed, and even if I wasn't tired, I would just stay in the bedroom with Amy and just like play on my phone or whatever it was until I was tired and I'd fall asleep. And so I was sometimes up till 11, 12, 1 in the morning just playing on my phone, knowing like I can't go out there, things happen. And so that's like one of my biggest struggles, is me, like, basically my willpower is really low right now because of stress and like things with Sam, and like last week was super stressful because we were getting all our tax stuff organized, and since we run a small business, it's a lot of hectic, like going through all of our finances and like writing things off, that like when we spend money for fabric and vinyl and all this other stuff, when we buy a new sewing machine, like all that stuff we can write off for the business expenses. And so it's like it's a stressful time. And so that was what I did all last week, and so this right now, it's a little bit better this week. I haven't been super tempted to, whatever, but I own my mistakes a lot, especially recently. I'm trying to be really honest and tell Amy, like, yeah, I had a bite of a roll last night, or I ate a couple bites of cereal, just because, like, I know that with keto, you have to be very strict about everything. I haven't knocked myself out of keto. I still have terrible breath all the time, and I know that I'm still losing weight. It's one of those things where I know that I have 5 carbs left today. Let me take a bite of cereal, even though that's really stupid. It's really hard to push myself to, I guess not necessarily push myself. Sorry, it's late. My brain's not working right, but basically, I'm trying super hard not to give in to myself and say, yeah, eat that stuff, it's fine. And so it helps for me to have snacks in the house that I can eat. I'm out of them right now. I need to run over to Target and get some more, but there's like Quest bars that I eat. They're not necessarily the best thing. They used to be actually terrible. They had like this weird starch thing that would kind of mess people up on keto, but now I think they fixed it because it's not that big of a deal. And so like there's Quest cookies too, which I rarely eat, but when I do, it's very sort of like it's not a cookie, but it's a cookie, And so having snacks like that in the house really helps me, and having things like, as weird as it is, like I get Wingstop blue cheese all the time because I like it with chicken. I like to use like the no sugar added barbecue sauces, a lot of times because it's super low in carbs and they have almost no sugar in them. And so I use that and I cook the chicken in it. So I put a little bit in there to put the chicken in, kind of cook it, and then I dip it in the blue cheese from Wingstop, and it's so good, which is pretty much my go-to. And sometimes they give me the blue cheese in like the little cups, and I'll just eat that as a snack. I know it's really weird, but it is kind of filling. But it's just it feels like I'm cheating even though I'm not. And so it's something that helps me, and so I do it. I eat a lot of cheese on this diet because I like cheese, but good thing I'm not lactose intolerant for sure. Otherwise this would be a pretty brutal diet to do. But yeah, I'm trying to own more of the things that I'm doing with this diet when it comes to making mistakes, or when it comes to like, I had a really rough night last night, or I was tempted about this. So I'm trying my best to be very open with Amy, because I know that she's kind of struggling too, just because this whole thing is so different with Sam. For me, it's not it's not super different because I'm not doing that many things that are different. I mean, my schedule's all messed up. Last time I was super anal about scheduling, after super like on point constantly, and so yeah, this time I'm just sort of like, when I can eat, you know, based on like Sam's naps and, you know, me playing with him all the time. But with Amy, I know she's struggling a little bit more just because the breastfeeding aspect of, I know she's exclusively pumping, but it's still considered breastfeeding. And so she gets a ton of points from Weight Watchers, but she struggles with like a little bit of the guilt with that, because she's like, I have a little bit more points than other people, but she is supposed to be eating more for her milk supply, which she's struggling with. And so I think she's doing a good job for what she's doing and what she's been given, and the stress of Sam, and she's freaking out about nap stuff right now. And so you'll see that I think she recorded a what I eat in a day today, and so I think she talks about that in the video. I don't know what details she gives, but she's freaking out about it. But yeah, so I'm really trying to come at this at such a different angle, such a different perspective this time, just because it's so weird this time for some reason. I mean, I'm really thankful that Amy is also doing this, because before if I was by myself, it just was not working for some reason. She was eating really good food all the time, and it was just way too hard for me to continue without. I mean, that food's not in the house right now, so it definitely helps. But yeah, it's different. And so I really am trying to own mistakes, and I'm not perfect this time around. I for sure have been kind of going beyond the 20 carbs a day. Some days, especially today, I had an extra tortilla shell because I was super hungry at dinner, and so I think I went 8 carbs over. So I had 28 carbs today, just because I was super hungry at dinner, and I had another taco. I had 3 tacos instead of 2. I usually eat 2, but tonight I ate 3. And so it's just one of those things that I'm doing this time, and I know it's not fully knocking me out of keto. I'm still in keto, but I can't push it further than that, I don't think, because then it might. And so, especially if it's like multiple days, usually it's like one day I'll kind of go over my carbs, and the next day I won't. And so that kind of helps. But yeah, I mean, this isn't like, I'm not going to be perfect at that this time. I'm definitely going to be a lot slower at weight loss, which honestly, I was really disappointed in myself because of the amount of weight I did gain. It was a lot. It was way more than I thought. When I jumped on the scale, I was like, what? Like, there's no way. Because I'd only, I think there was a couple of shirts that weren't fitting me anymore, and so I was like, ugh. And so when I weighed myself there, I was like, how in the world? And so I was like, did I gain weight in different areas? Like, what in the heck? So I don't know. It's weird. Like, I feel like my face is definitely a lot fatter than it used to be like 6 or 7 months ago. And so it's hard to like lose all that weight and then gain a bunch of it back and be like, well, that was a waste of my year, but it wasn't, because I learned a lot of things, and I definitely fell in love with running. And we really believe that because we lost weight, it was easy for Amy to get pregnant. That's like a big thing, and we talked to a lot of our doctors about it, and they all sort of agreed and said, yeah, it's kind of pretty common. And so yeah, we're thankful we have Sam now and everything. And so I have some time. I'm not like rushing this at all. I have some time until Sam is walking or even running around the house. I mean, a 1-year-old walking around is not very fast, and so we have a little bit of time before he's like running around the house like a maniac. And so we're gonna lose the weight, but it's just gonna be a slow process. And so I definitely want to own up to you guys too when I make mistakes about like, oh yeah, I had a waffle the other night and I shouldn't have done it. But I want to make sure that we're open with you guys. We don't want to fake anything. It's pretty important to me that our channel is very genuine, and that we aren't like pretending that we're doing this really awesome dieting thing and we're so good at it, because we're not. Especially like I eat the same thing all the time, and it gets really boring sometimes. And so I don't really make a lot of the what I eat in a day is on keto because I literally eat the same like 3 or 4 meals, and I've showed them all on what I do. It's enchiladas. I changed my bandage. It looks weird. I drew a little face on the one earlier. You'll probably see it in the next video, but like it looks like there's a little poof of hair coming out of my thumb. Anyway, so the keto videos that I made, so I make enchiladas tacos. It's a very Mexican food heavy diet. I do the top of Totino's pizzas for lunch every day because it's a super cheap pizza. Like it's like $1 per day basically for lunches, which is I think awesome. And then chicken with my barbecue sauce. That's literally all I eat. I mean, there's occasionally like I did waffles and pancake. Like maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I think I've shown that before though. There's like a keto Birch. Is it called Birch Brothers? I think it's called Birch Brothers. You have like a keto waffle mix or keto pancake mix. You can turn it into waffle mix. And so like I added a whole bunch of stuff to that to make it taste better. It still tastes like dirt. Like it is, the texture is so hard for me. It's not as prevalent for some reason in pancake form. I made with our Mickey waffle maker that we have. I think if you've seen previous videos, it's like the same ones that they get at Disney parks. Like it's basically the same one that they sold for I think Mickey's 100th birthday, and it makes really good, pretty good looking Mickey waffles. But I made the waffles and it was so hard to stomach those things. But then I made pancakes. So it's like I'm gonna just try the pancakes, and so I basically added a couple eggs, like vanilla and like some cinnamon, and so like they ended up being pretty good, and I was kind of surprised by that. They still had that weird texture every couple bites. It was like this kind of grimy sort of like dirty taste, which it must be whatever like almond flour or something like that they use. So if you ever buy the Birch Brothers keto mix and you're doing keto, I would highly recommend adding things to it, because if you just add the water, it's disgusting. It tastes like dirt. I'm not joking. It tastes just like dirt. And so, yeah, it's bad. But anyway, so I don't really make a lot of what I eat in a day, is just because it's the same. It'll be literally the same thing every single time. And how many times can you make the same video? And so, at least with Amy's, it's always something different. Even though it's like the same what I eat in a day a lot. But those really help her stay on track, and I think that's why she likes to do them, is because she knows if I'm making this video, it's very helpful for me. And so hopefully it's helpful for you guys too. But yeah. Anyways, this is sort of a rambly video, but I really just wanted to say that, I'm trying to own up. If I make a mistake, I want to make sure that I own up to it and be genuine about this keto thing, because it's honestly, it's really hard for me right now. But I'm continuing, I'm still sticking with it. And yeah, I'm hoping that like I'll be like this time, where there'll be like 2 or 3 weeks of really, really good, and then maybe a couple of days, and then 2 or 3 weeks of really good. And so we actually are cheating next week. Amy's birthday is next week. I know she said I shouldn't get her anything, but I probably should. I need to think about something. I have a week to do it, basically. Shoot. Anyways, I don't really have much more to say, but yeah, I want to be genuine, and I want to be real about this dieting thing. And so I don't know. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it's been a pretty interesting year so far, for sure. It's been an interesting 2-3 years, pretty much. 2019 was an interesting year with all the weight loss. 2020 was a really interesting year with everything that was going on, besides getting pregnant and like the pandemic, and like, my grandma passed away, and like it was really weird year. And so yeah, she was a wonderful person. I was actually just thinking about her the other day. She was awesome. I'm pretty sure I got my sense of humor from her, because she was really funny, and she always thought I was really funny. And so obviously I think, she basically was like a second mom to me, because my mom was a single mom, She raised me, but she was working all the time. And then when I was, a little kid, often, like, when I was sick or, for weeks at a time in the summer, I'd go spend time with my grandparents and, like, spend a lot of time with my grandma. And so she had such a huge impact in my life. And so it was pretty hard to lose her. It was, like, right before Christmas, and Christmas is, like, her holiday. Like, Christmas Eve, all the time, every year, from, I was born basically all the way to, I want to say, 30 something years old, 32, 33, is basically until I got married, was basically every Christmas Eve I was at her house. And so it was a little tough on our family around Christmas, but she was an awesome person, and I'm thankful that I even got to know her. And so anyways, 2020 and this year has been crazy. So this last 2 years have been nuts, but we're thankful for you guys, for all the support you give us, and like it blows us away, like even since the beginning of the year, the amount of new subscribers we've had. It's pretty awesome to see, and we're really excited that you guys are joining us and everything. And so thanks for joining me today on this crazy, weird, rambly video, and hopefully you guys have a great week. And yeah, I might be doing more videos like this where I'm sit down and just kind of talk, because it's super late at night and I have basically nothing else to do after I'm done working. I have to check on Sam. Okay, he's sleeping. Okay, thanks for joining me. I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Bye.